Hello and welcome to another edition of the Lighthouse video series. I'm Stephen Madill, Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Nichols Portland, Inc. We're coming to you from our Ridgeway facility where we focus on the sintering or PM technology here in Ridgeway, Pennsylvania. With me today is Seth Weible, the lead engineer for the facility, and Jeff Howie, our VP of Advanced Engineering. So gentlemen, in the powder metal world, the key is to be net shape out of sintering, right? In a perfect world, the product comes out of the sintering oven and that's all you have to do to it. But as this technology is being used more, the tolerances are becoming tighter and tighter. So we're having to use a lot of different types of secondary operations to help our customers kind of utilize our technologies. So one of the technologies we use as a secondary is sizing and coining. Maybe Seth, you can walk us through that.
Sure. So there are two pressing style qualification techniques that are available for the powder metal industry. One would be coining, which would be essentially putting on a feature or face detail onto a part. So equivalent to how mints put on the faces of dimes, quarters, nickels, right, along that lines. And then you have the sizing operation, which is a full set of tools where you can either push a part out or press a part into a set of tools, utilizing a powder metal style press to really qualify those tolerances that are very, very close to being capable, but just aren't quite there yet.
Right. And through sintering, there is a little bit of distortion that sometimes it may be more than you want, and you have to use the sizing or coining operation to do that. So, and then Jeff, there's plenty more. Maybe you can touch on a couple of the other ones.
Yeah, in some cases, there might be tolerances that still aren't achievable through sizing, or there may be features that you just can't form into the part net shape. So then we look at subtractive machining, and that can be anything from turning, milling, grinding, lapping, honing, and then other specialized things like tapping. Like we obviously can't form screw threads into the parts. Right. But basically any machining or subtractive process available for forgings, castings, bar stock, we can also do on PM. It's just that you'll be doing much less of it because the part's so much closer in that shape.
Right. There's less waste when you do that. And then on top of that, the performance of the part may need to be a little bit higher. So there's different types of kind of heat treatments that we can do as well.
Yes, sir. So there's a couple types of heat treatments. Standard would be a quench and temper, which is just a through hardening technique. When you get into the higher densities, you will be able to case harden or induction harden some different types of alloys. And when you get into the correct material selection, you can actually heat treat in a furnace all in one, right, through the sinter hardening process.
Yeah, that's a great point. In sinter hardening has been a technology that's really advanced over these last probably 10, 15 years, where we can utilize our furnaces to do hardening within the sintering process, which gives us just another leg up because it's a very cost-effective way of adding a heat treatment. So that's a great point. Jeff, there's other secondaries that customers like to use.
Yeah.
It may not be about fatigue properties. It may be for other reasons. What
and
the other ones?
Aside from like tolerance improvement or property improvement, there could be decorative requirements for a part, in which case we can do plating. Right. We have to seal the porosity within the part before plating. But there's all sorts of different plating and coating that we can do to give the part either a cosmetic benefit or, seal it from corrosion, atmospheres and things like that. So that's another avenue where we're seeing quite a bit of, traction on like underbody components on automotive.
Yeah. And Seth, there's also a couple different types of technologies for closing the pores. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
So one of those, one of that technology is steam treating, and there's two different types of steam treating. There's what they call the process A, which is really just sealing the surface, just closing off to any outside elements. And then there's the process B, which actually seals the part itself. So that way, for like a high pressure application, nothing really leaks through the part.
Okay. Yeah. And that's beneficial, because powder metal is porous. There's concern about, whether it's retaining fluids or letting fluids not necessarily permeate through it, but in some cases you don't want to have any of the pores retaining fluid. So that's one way to do it. I think there's some other ways, Jeff, to do that as well.
Yeah, I mean, mechanically, we can do grit blasting, which kind of closes off the surface porosity.
Right.
Gives the part a, in some cases, some people consider it a nicer finish. It can also, shine the part up and remove any types of sharp edges and things like that from material handling purposes.
Right. And then the last one to talk about is we do a lot of additional work for customers where we have found a way to do assemblies. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that, Jeff.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, we have multiple components within a system that are adjacent to each other, and we can provide a full value stream proposition to our customer where we actually maybe assemble all those components onto a shaft, or bolt them together or braze them together. In some cases,
insert a bushing, right?
Yep, it could be as simple as inserting a bushing,
Right.
or one of our more complex assemblies is a camshaft assembly where we make all the powder metal components and install them on a shaft.
Right.
We can also do kitting. If you think of like pumps and stuff like that, there may be 5 components that are made on adjacent lines within our factories.
Right.
That then go to a customer, and all they have to do is install like maybe some gaskets and screws, but they're getting the part they're getting the parts pre-kitted, ready for assembly.
Yeah. So we do consider ourselves a one-stop shop for our customers. We can offer a lot of variations of the powder metal technology, but then from there we can offer even more advanced assemblies, and even with our other facilities that we own, whether it's a pump or it's a valve, we have a lot of capabilities that we can share with our customers to utilize us as a one-stop shop.
Correct.
So, well, gentlemen, thank you for your input. It was very helpful. If you'd like to learn more about our technologies or would like to schedule an educational event, whether it's a one-on-one, a tech day, a lunch and learn, we'd be happy to support that. You can contact us by going to nicholsportlandinc.com and reach out to us that way, and then we'll contact you back and set up some time. So we hope that we hear from you soon.